Hi, I'm Matt, and I'm here with. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey, my name's Cat Ridgeway, and I'm a singer-songwriter from Orlando.
Excellent.
Oh
So,
yeah.
tell me about the song we're about to practice.
Yes. We are gonna be playing "Drop Me a Line," which is the fifth track, I think, off of my EP "Passenger Seat," and it's been dubbed the Michael Jack Johnson song from the days that it was being recorded in the studio.
What does that mean?
So, when I met my writing partner, this was one of the first songs I played at an open mic, and he heard it and was like, "Oh my god, that's a really cool song. We should mess with that." And he was like, "It's kind of like Michael Jackson, Jack Johnson, Michael Jack Johnson. I don't know." And then it just like stuck, and that's what we called it the entire time we were recording it.
And I will now call it that too.
Yeah, I know. I still call it that in my own head, so it's like, haha, every time I start playing it.
So when you're writing a song like this, what's your process? Do you usually start from the melody, from the music, from?
Yeah, this one definitely started with a melody. I actually remember, I think I was, yeah, a junior in high school, and I was walking to my car at the end of the day, and I whipped my phone out because I was like, oh my god. Sometimes, you'll have a melody just smack you in the face out of literally nowhere. And I remember the horn line was actually what came first, that bum, ba, da, 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 na, 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 at the end. And then as I kept like playing that over and over in my head, the vocal part for the chorus came in too, and I was like, oh my god. And in my head, it was like so Motown, but also like beachy, which I think we pretty much captured what I was hearing. But yeah, I was like, oh man, I got to get that down. So I'm like singing it into my phone, and it took me probably a couple months sitting on the melody. Um, I kept trying to write and rewrite the lyrics, and nothing felt right. And then just all of a sudden, it just clicked, and it was like I just stopped thinking about it so much and just let the song kind of dictate what needed to happen there. Um, because originally, it's just started off like being super cheesy, where it was like I think I had like a lyric at some point that was saying like, "Do you remember the time like the wind swept your hair?" or something stupid. Like I was like, oh my god, like come on, man.
You were in high school.
Yeah, I was in high school, so I'll blame it on that. But yeah, I just remember though being super excited to finish it, and when I did finish it, I played it at like every show I had coming up because I was like, this is different from anything I've written before, and I was super excited.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, when I was figuring the song out, I noticed that song's got a lot of melodies going. It's got the opening guitar riff, it's got the verse melody, the chorus melody, obviously, and then there's another electric guitar melody going on. When I was figuring it out is when I realized that the chords are the same throughout the whole song. And it's not something I noticed even listening to it a dozen times until I would sit down. Was that a conscious choice or?
It's something I've done a few times in different songs just because if the melody's strong enough, you don't need anything fancy going on in the chords. I wouldn't necessarily say it was like deliberate. I think it's just what sounded the best. But there have been songs where I'm like, I wonder if I can just keep this going the whole time. But yeah, 9 times out of 10, it's just kind of like, okay, here's a melody and here's what sounds the best supporting it. And if it's the same thing, then it's the same thing. You don't have to, play it the same way in the verse and the chorus. If you just change the production of it a little bit too, it's just like that. What happens to your ear is like you don't even notice, and it's like I think that's kind of cool.
No, I think it's great because I was very shocked, and like I had listened to it plenty of times. I'd seen you play it live before, and it was a pleasant surprise. It also made it easier to learn than I thought it was going to.
True, right? it's a good jam song for that reason.
So where did you record it?
That was recorded up in Nashville as part of the Kickstarter campaign that I did a few years back. So that was, I think, probably across 3 different studios. I don't remember the names of any of them, to be completely honest with you, but it was really cool. The drum studio that we went to was solely made 2-track drums. So it was a house, like a 3-story house, I think, that got changed into this recording studio. So the basement was the tracking room, and you went all the way up to the top floor to the control room because there's no bleed, so you could hear exactly what was going to be on the record, effects, everything. And it was so freaking cool, and I just remember being like dumbfounded at that alone. So that was where we did the drums. And then the wine box is what we affectionately called Evan Redwine, the engineer. He had this little like garden shack that his dad helped him acoustically engineer, and it was turned into the studio, probably about the size of this room. And that's
I was picturing like an outhouse, which was
not. I wished. You know how often I had to go out in the freezing cold because I had to pee so much. When we were tracking vocals, I had like, one of those giant water bottles, and I would go through probably 4 of them a day when we were tracking vocals, and I was literally like, hey, we got one taken, I gotta go.
So for any of you watching or thinking of opening your own studio, do it in an outhouse, have a catheter system, have whatever you do, make it easy on the singer.
Yeah, seriously. It was bad. And it's so cold up there in
Is it really?
December.
I've actually never been to Nashville.
Yeah, it was freezing. Like, it was snowing for a couple of days while we were up there, and I was like, oh my god, I'm not used to this. But I digress. So those are the two.
Little urination stories. Those are
whatever.
That was really the point of the interview. The rest of
Honestly.
it was just, that was the reason I wanted to do the song, to hear that story, so that's fine.
But yeah, like a lot of stuff was also done at Ben Cooper, the producer / my writing partner. He had this little basement studio space in his house, and that was where we would go and hash songwriting stuff out and put finishing touches on things. A lot of the keyboard work he did, MIDI work he did, all that kind of stuff there. So I think that was all 3 of them. But yeah. Anyway, so Nashville for a short answer.
Now, the song's on the album Passenger Seat. Did you do the whole album up there?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we did.
That's awesome. A great album, by the way. You guys should buy it.
Oh, I left out the coolest part, actually. The other studio we recorded the guitars at was Gordon Kennedy's studio, like in his house. Gordon Kennedy is the co-writer of the song "Change the World."
Oh, okay.
And that dude, he plays with Peter Frampton all the time, and he knows everybody, and it's crazy. And anyway, we went up to his house, and he lives in like a mansion on a hill in like the suburbs of Nashville. It's just like this big grand place. He's so humble though. Like you would never have expected him to live in a house like that, talking to him beforehand. But anyway, we walked in, and he has this sweet setup in his house, and the walls are covered with Vox, like the Vox fabric that covers the speaker. Yeah, his walls are that, and then in another room it's the Fender Tweed. And it is the coolest, and I want it.
He lives inside an amplifier, basically.
Yeah, it was like, oh my god, it was so cool. He said he had to get like some permissions from them to use the fabric. Like,
really,
you can't like just go get that. So
that's crazy.
I have new goals in life after meeting Gordon Kennedy. I want Vox fabric everywhere.
I think you should do another Kickstarter.
I think so. Help me get Vox to sponsor me.
Hope the inside of her house look like a werewolf.
That would be awesome.
I like that idea too.
Yeah, right? But yeah, anyway, so that was the other studio. I knew I was forgetting one. Sorry.
No. And you were talking about drum studios. Looking around this room, there's an awful lot of different kinds of instruments. How many of these different instruments do you play? I heard a rumor with my own eyes, actually, that you play at least 3 instruments.
Yeah. Let's see here. So, yeah, we got guitar, drums, my trumpet, piano, bass, harmonica. I'm known to mess around on a ukulele. I don't know that many chords, but I can figure something out. I think that's probably it. But
just those 7.
I learned how to play the trombone for a long time when I was younger, but that's like it's like Spanish, where if I don't practice it, it's just kind of gone. I could probably figure something out if I had it in my hands, but I can't read music worth a dip anymore. It's bad.
I'm going to have to get you a trombone, because now I want to see this.
Oh yeah, the first thing, what the first song was that I learned how to play on a trombone? Tequila. I went, ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba.
It sounds like a natural fit now that I think about it. I would have never guessed it, but that makes sense.
But it was just so fun because you got
to
to
the piano man on the harmonica.
Yeah.
Right? It's just what happens when you blow a couple of notes on the trombone.
Totally. And it's like you get to the part like da-da-da-da, pow. It's fun.
Can you do it?
Pow.
Do you have an instrument that is your favorite to play?
Ooh, kind of depends on my mood, honestly, but it's like guitar is definitely the instrument I write the most on, and then Drums, though, are the most fun, I think, to jam on because I am not a great guitar player in terms of lead yet. Optimal word yet. And so I find myself kind of scratching my head a lot of the time when I'm in a room full of people noodling. So drums are kind of easy because you can't miss a note. You just have to come up with something that supports everybody else's funky notes.
Well, and you have a trump card when you're the drummer too. If somebody gets off, it's their fault, not yours.
Yeah, it's very true. And you can throw sticks at people.
Note to self. I'm jamming with Cat. Maybe I don't want her on the drums.
But yeah, so like, I don't know. In terms of writing guitar or piano, I just got a synth though, and I'm super excited to see how that affects my writing process because there are so many song ideas that I've had through the years where I hear synths and I was just never able to like get that down. So now I'm super excited to see what happens with that.
You actively working on a new project at the moment? Or?
I am actually, yes. Now that I'm out of school, I have time, and I am working on another. Hopefully, my goal is a full length, but it may be an EP, just depending on what works best for what I'm trying to do. But yeah, I think probably a pretty good sonic shift is about to happen. I'm not entirely sure which direction I'm going in. I'm kind of at a fork in the road, so I'm trying to figure out how to split the difference right now. But
your choices are trombone and okay,
yeah,
trombone and synth.
Trombone and a synth. That's actually kind of cool.
Actually, you should probably do that.
I should.
You should get a guitar synth.
Yeah.
And then you can have the trombone too. Like a really weird one-woman band.
Yeah. It started here, folks.
Started here. Do I get royalties?
If you play something.
That's self. I think. Right. Excellent.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, on the trombone synth note, thank you for talking to me. And
heck yeah! Thanks for coming over.
And you will see the fruits of our labor. Bye.